Hey everyone, and welcome to this walkthrough of Elden Ring, where we're gonna aim to complete 100% of the game. I've got myself an official Elden Ring strategy book, which I bought off of Amazon, and it's pretty amazing. It's a solid goodness of 500 plus pages of everything you need to know about the game, and it provides an in-detailed in-game guide step by step of how to achieve 100% completion. I've already done one playthrough, although I haven't yet completed it, but I decided to record it from the start and give you guys the same experience because it has been quite awesome. So let's go ahead and jump straight into it. Let's start a new game. During this playthrough, I will watch all of the cinematics just to provide you guys with the full experience of the game, and I will enjoy it as though I was playing it the very first time. So the build I'm gonna go for is gonna be a melee mage build. So I'm gonna aim to get Moonveil and just ruffle stomp throughout everything in my path with magic, melee, dexterity, intelligence build. So the class I'm gonna start with is the last playthrough I played it through with astrologer. This time around, I'm gonna go with the samurai just because he has a high dex and it starts with the bow, which means we can probably stomp enemies easier in the beginning as opposed to later in the game. And then when we get more level, we can pump the int and then it wouldn't matter anymore. Besides, he has better armor and it's just way cooler looking. And I love Sekiro. So, samurai it is. Let's go with type A and let's enter a name. I normally name my characters after my favorite book heroes, book characters. So in this case, I'm gonna name him Shivers, after a character called Cole Shivers from Joe Abercrombie's books, The First Law. He's one of my favorite characters in those books. So let's go with Shivers. Done. Let's customize him a little bit. Let's go with the keepsake first. So I'm gonna explain my choice here. Crimson Amber Medallion might look nice on paper to begin with, but honestly, it's a little bit irrelevant. Sure, extra HP is nice to begin with, but it is a medallion, and you're gonna replace it pretty quickly as you advance through the game because you're gonna get a better one, namely the Green Turtle Talisman, pretty early on. So we don't really need that. It's gonna be a waste of a keepsake. Now, most of these things ultimately don't matter, so pick what you like. Golden Seed is normally nice because you get that extra flask, but what I like to go for is the Stone Sword keys because you get 2 of them. And that means you can just unlock early on some of those areas which are meant to be closed for longer. For example, when we go to the Stormvale Castle, there's gonna be a few areas which will require a Stone Sword key to unlock, so we can pick up those extra treasures. And also a turtle place where we actually get the talisman in question, the Green Turtle Talisman. That's also going to be locked with a Stone Sword key. If we have this, we can unlock it very early on and grab those things. So this is what we're going to choose. We're going to choose a Stone Sword key to begin with. Let's customize my character a little bit, so I'm going to have fun playing it. The template I'm going to go for as a samurai is the Reedlander or Seafarer. I'm going to go with the Reedlander. Goes with the armor of the reeds, and it kind of looks like Jin Sakai from Ghost of Tsushima, who is one of my favorite in-game characters of all time. Let's go with the Reedlander. Let's go a little bit of a detailed appearance. Mature voice is fine. His skin color, let's make it just a tiny little bit darker so he resembles Jin Sakai a little bit more. That's perfect. Actually, kind of does look like Jin Sakai, as it is from the base template. I'm not even going to change it. He looks awesome. Yeah, I'll leave it as it is. The body is fine. It's not like I'm gonna go running around with an armor anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, okay, let's go. And we will watch the cinematic. So I'm just gonna shut up now and let you guys enjoy it. I'll just say one thing. The very first playthrough,
tell a story.
This sounds very gibberish, but as you understand more and more the lore of the game, it actually makes a lot of sense. It reveals a lot of important characters from the lore and makes the game that much more enjoyable.
Great Elden Ring was shattered.
So remember the names mentioned here because we are going to be meeting those characters as we progress through the game.
Across the fog, the lands between. Queen Marika the Eternal is nowhere to be found. And in the night of the Black Knives, Godwyn the Golden was first to perish. Soon, Marika's offspring, demigods all, claimed the shards of the Elden Ring. The mad taint of their newfound strength triggered the shattering. A war from which no lord arose. A war leading to abandonment by the greater will. Oh, rise now, ye tarnished, ye dead who yet live. The call of long-lost grace speaks to us all. Horalu, chieftain of the Badlands, the ever-brilliant Gold Mask. Fear, the deathbed companion, the loathsome dung-eater, and Sir Gideon Ofnir, the all-knowing. And one other, whom grace would again bless.
That's us.
A tarnished of no renown. Cross the fog to the lands between. To stand before the Elden Ring. And become the Elden Lord.
Alright, here we are. So in this area, you're just gonna wanna grab the finger. And then open this door right here. It opens heavy. And as you step inside, the first thing you want to do, especially if this is your first playthrough, is just take in this view. I mean, just look at it. Oh my goodness. This is the most beautiful game I have ever seen. Just look at the detail of it, and look at the leaves falling, and look at this tree. I'm just mesmerized by it each time I look. Anyway, let's keep going. So the first item on the list is this Chapel of Anticipation. We're just gonna run down, and we're gonna face the Grafted Scion, which is gonna be a big monster on the other side of that bridge through the arc. We're not supposed to defeat it. I mean, you can really try hard if you want to, but you're probably gonna fail. I'm gonna fail because I know I will. But you're supposed to die here, because if you die here, then we get another cutscene and the game actually begins. Although, given that this is a first software game, yes, you can defeat him and you get some extra loot and items in the end. But don't worry if you can't defeat him, because we will come back to this area later in the game when we are much stronger, and we'll kick his ass then. Anyway, let's face him. Okay, so we got a bow. We don't want a bow. We got a small shield. We don't care. Let's equip our sword in both hands. Also bow and sword like that. This is how we're gonna fight him. Two-handed Uchigatana. Ultimately, it doesn't matter because it's gonna kick our ass. But So focus on him and just basically make sure you dodge his attacks. I'm not gonna block, I'm gonna dodge. And I'm gonna unsheath, smack, and roll the hell away. Alrighty. He's actually going better than I thought. I think he's gonna jump on me now. Okay, I missed that one. Oh, I got smacked hard there. Okay, that's it. Wasn't actually that bad, eh? Anyway, next cinematic. Now we're gonna meet Melina, who's a significant character in the lore going forward.
Don't worry, Torrent. Fortune is on his side. We found him here, after all. One of his kind is sure to seek the Elden Ring. Even if it does violate the Golden Order.
Badass. Let's violate the hell out of the Golden Order. Alright, we're up. So, in this area, what we wanna do is we wanna talk to this guy and then jump down into the Cave of Knowledge, which is sort of a tutorial. And it's still pretty important to do because even if this is not your first playthrough and you know everything about the game already, you still get like extra runes, which means you can use them to buy Kali's cracked pot and a torch as soon as you get to Joshua Valley, instead of farming for kids around the area, so it's gonna be better this way. Let's rest at the start grace, and then let's go. Switch this to shield so we can block stuff, but also let's two-hand it. Okay, so two-handing, one hits it, that's great. I haven't played Samurai before, but yeah, one hitting stuff is actually very, very nice. I think because we have a lot of decks and Uchigatana obviously scales with decks. It's gonna be a guy with a bow, just make sure to dodge his attacks. Let's pick up a few crafting ingredients. There's gonna be another one here. These things I used to make blood grease, which you're gonna be able to make later down the line. Now this guy has a shield, which means we also have a shield, so let's block his spear attack and then counter attack him. Oh, missed it. That's a tiny shield. Okay, that's annoying. I just missed it twice. I'll just unsheath the hell out of him. Oh, okay, I see. So the shield has a parry ability, so I can't really unsheath. So I got a two-handed to unsheath. Okay. There we go. Later down the line, we're gonna be able to purchase the Ashes of War no skill, and we're gonna apply it to the shield that we have in order to get rid of that parry ability. So that we can unsheath one-handed while also having a shield. And while this feels kind of OP, don't get too cocky, because this is the tutorial. Okay, remember, it's supposed to be easy. As soon as we're out in the world, it's not gonna be so easy, and as you will see during the first boss fight, the actual boss fight, not this one. Let me show you how to backstab. So basically you sneak around through the bushes, you get behind, and then you tap the attack button ever so lightly, and you deal a massive critical hit. See, we already have like 200 runs. Now, a stake of Marika. The stake of Marika just means you get to respawn right next to it, as opposed to the grace, which normally means much closer to where you died, so you don't have to run back so far. Normally a prelude to a boss fight. Okay, there is our first boss. His name is Soldier of Godric. Let's crush him. That's it. He doesn't really drop anything. There is no treasure here, as far as I remember. The book says no treasure. Okay, cool. Let's get out of here. Run through the cave. There's gonna be something we can pick up over here on this headless corpse. A gesture. And then we're gonna jump down and go out into the world and actually play the game. So now we have a few runes. This was item number 2. Let's go to item number 3 in the book, which is the Church of Valley. Let's first rest at the site of grace, so that we can replenish our mana and our flasks. Now this particular area requires 2 stone sword keys, and while we have 2 stone sword keys because we chose them for our keepsake, we're not gonna go there right now because it will just be a waste of time. The area is way too strong for our level, and there aren't too many rewards worth having this early on in the game. So we're gonna come back here later and finish that area at a later time. The stone sword keys we're gonna save for another area where we're gonna get our green turtle talisman from the turtles, which is gonna be more valuable to us than this. So we're gonna come back here later. Let's pick up a finger severer, which is for multiplayer purposes. It basically allows us to come back to our world after leading an invasion into other players' worlds. However, I am playing offline. I'm not connected to the multiplayer, so we're not going to be invading anyone or being invaded by anyone other than NPCs, which is more than okay. We're just going to beat the game PvE style without engaging in PvP. Alright, here's the world. We're finally outside. The first thing we're gonna want to do is pick up that item over there. So this is it's not an item, it's actually a summoning pool, and the gold finger effigy. And then we'll discover this grace right here. We will rest at the side of it. And we're gonna talk to White Musk Barry. He's an important NPC.
Oh yes, tarnished, are we?
And we're gonna want to exhaust his dialogue.
Between for the Elden Ring? Of course you have. No shame in it. Unfortunately for you, however, you are maidenless.
Snap.
Without guidance, without the strength of runes, and without an invitation to the Round Table Hold, You are fated, it seems, to die in obscurity.
Ooh. Big talk.
Luckily for you, however, there is one shining ray of hope for even the maidenless. Me, Vare. Take care to listen. Are you familiar with grace? The golden light that gives life to you tarnished. You may also behold its golden rays, pointing in a particular direction at times. That is the guidance of grace, the path that a tarnished must travel. Indeed. Grace's guidance holds the answers. It will lead you tarnished to the path you are meant to follow, even if it leads you to your grave.
So he's basically gonna tell us which way we're supposed to go.
Grace's guidance will reveal the path forward, most certainly. To Castle Stormvale, over on the cliff, the home of the decrepit demigod, Godric the Drafted. It's time you set off, I should think, to Castle Stormvale on the cliff, where Grace would guide you, if you seek the Elden Ring, maidenless as you are.
Alright, I think that's it.
It's time to
Yeah.
if you
Now that we have exhausted his dialogue, we're gonna hightail it straight to the Church of Valley, which is over there, making sure to avoid the horse guy, the tree sentinel, because, well, we just don't want to fight him when the stage is way too strong, and he's gonna smack us around. It's like a noob trap. You see this guy like, oh, why don't I go ahead and fight him, and he's just gonna destroy you, and you'll be like, oh wow, this game is so hard. But, yeah, he's not for fighting. We're gonna fight him later, and we're gonna kick his ass when we're a bit stronger, but we're gonna completely ignore him right now. He drops a halberd, which we can't use anyway because we don't have the stats. This is the church, a very useful place where we have a merchant who sells useful things, a smithing table, and a grace. So let's first discover the grace. Sit ourselves down on it. And then let's pick up the smithing stone. Strengthen the armaments, which we can't yet do because we only got one. We need two for that. Understandable. But yeah, when you have smithing stones, you can come back to the stable and strengthen your weapons and your shield to become stronger. A very important thing to do. Anyway, let's talk to Kali and purchase some essentials.
You're tarnished. I can see it. And I can also see that you're not after my throat. Then why not purchase a little something? I am Kale, purveyor of fine goods.
So let's speak to him and exhaust his dialogue about
I am
Kale.
of a nomadic people, selling wares as I travel. The land has been tainted by madness since the shattering of the Elden Ring. It's only tarnished like yourself, who keep things from drying up entirely. Let's say you're a very welcome customer.
Let's ask for his recommendation.
You know, if you can spare the rooms, you should buy yourself a crafting kit. A crafting kit allows you to make basic items on your own. Essential, really, if you intend to survive out here for any duration. The kit costs a bundle, and I admit I do take my cut. But the important thing is that you survive. Every customer counts, after all.
Alright, now that we've asked for it, let's go ahead and buy the crafting kit, as he has suggested. Which is, like I said, it's gonna allow us to craft things like greases and potions and all that. And also go ahead and purchase the torch, which is a very important item early on in the game, or just at any point in the game, because it will allow you to illuminate dark areas such as caves, in which otherwise you wouldn't be able to see anything because it'd be pitch black.
You've made an excellent choice.
You're gonna equip that torch later. Now that we have finished up with the church, let's run to the next area, which is area number 4, Gatefront Ruins. Along the way we can kill these guys. You can ignore them, you can kill them. I choose to kill them because it'll just give you a few extra runes and allowing you to level up even further, especially when they're really easy to get and give you a hefty amount of runes to start with. Pick up some crafting items. I hear a scarab. Oh, there's something to pick up over here. Next to this trolley. It is cookery, which is really good. It's basically we have a boss, so we don't really need it. But if you didn't have a ranged weapon, then you can use that. It's basically a throwing knife. So you can equip that and attack people from range. Doesn't do too much damage, but it's very useful for when you want to lure someone to you, as opposed to running off to him. So this is Stake of Marika, so if we die, we're gonna respawn right there. Now, we don't need to fight these guys right now. What we're gonna wanna do is just to run around and discover that grace over there, because it will give us the horse. It will give us Torrent the horse, which will be able to ride around as opposed to running. So let us discover this grace and then sit down and watch the cinematic. It'll also allow us to level up using the runes.
Greetings, traveler from beyond the fog. I am Melina. I offer you an accord. Have you heard of the Finger Maidens? They serve the Two Fingers, offering guidance and aid to the Tarnished. But you, I am afraid, are maidenless. I can play the role of maiden, turning runes into strength to aid you in your search for the Elden Ring. You need only take me with you to the foot of the Erd Tree.
We will accept.
Settle. Summon me by grace to turn runes into strength. Ah, another matter. I bequeath to you this ring. Use it to traverse great distances. It will summon a spectral steed named Torrent. Torrent has chosen you. Treat him with respect.
Okay, let us see if we can level up.
Shall I turn your runes
I don't
to
think so,
strength?
because we don't have enough
My
runes.
hand rest upon you. For but a moment. Share them with me.
Okay, we cannot.
Your
But
thoughts, your ambitions.
as soon as we can,
The
we're gonna be leveling up the
principles you
vigor.
would follow.
Vigor, we're gonna go for vigor, we're gonna go a tiny little bit endurance, and then we're gonna pump dexterity to about 18, at which point we're gonna probably find a staff, learn a few spells, and then we'll start pumping intelligence, because we'll need intelligence relatively high than this if you're gonna wanna use Moonveil later in the game. So first vigor, then dex to about 18, and then intelligence. Therefore, and vigor. Vigor is for health. Anyway, let us disconnect. So now that we have turret, we're gonna go ahead and equip it. To equip it, you'll just have to, let's put it on the left arrow right here. So triangle the switch and then do the turn. So now to activate the turn, hold the triangle and then click left, and it's gonna do turn. Now let's go ahead and quickly defeat this guy because we want to grab the map. The map is just by the obelisk over there, and then we're gonna go back to the Church of Valley and grab another essential item that has just appeared over there. This guy has a horn, so if you wanna fight him, we're gonna wanna defeat him quickly so he doesn't blow it. Fortunately, quickly is not a problem. That guy is a mini boss. We don't want to fight him just yet because he's very strong. We're gonna come back and destroy him in just a tiny little bit. Now that we have found the map, we can see that the area is no longer gray. It is now partially uncovered. So let us fast travel back to the Church of Valley and meet Rani the Witch, who's gonna give us the spirit calls.
This way, Tarnished.
There she is.
May I have a word?
She's a very important NPC in this game.
A pleasure to meet thee, Tarnished. I am the witch Renna. I'd heard tell of a Tarnished hurtling about atop a spectral steed, and upon looking into the matter, the talk I surmise is of thee. Thou art possessed of the power, no? To call forth a spectral steed named Torrent.
So yes.
As I had hoped, I was entrusted this for thee by Torrent's former master. 'Tis a bell for calling forth spirits. Summon them with it. From ash and return to the Erdtree, the spirits will obey thine command but briefly, as they recall battles past. Now it is thine, to do with as thou wishest.
Have I got the spirits?
Forgive mine intrusion, Tarnished. I doubt we shall again meet. But all the same, learn well the lands between. How long will it be, I wonder, before the Tarnished tire of obeisance to the two fingers?
Alright. Now that we have the spirit bell, let's also equip it onto a hotkey. I like to normally do it on the left. The Lone Wolf Ashes, which will basically summon 3 spirit wolves in order to aid us in combat. Now let's fast travel back to that original grace over there. And using the spirit ashes, we're just gonna ruffle stomp this entire camp. There's an important item that we gotta find over in the little cellar over there past these guys, which is gonna be Ashes of War Storm Stomp. We're not gonna actually have a need for that item because we have the katana, which has Unsheath, which is its own spell, and we don't wanna override it. But if you chose a different class, those Ashes of War Storm Stomp is very powerful early in the game. It's very good for staggering enemies. So we'll just basically kill everyone in this camp in order to get as many runes as possible for leveling up. We're gonna wanna get that guy especially, because if we don't, then it's gonna blow the horn, which will summon the entire camp upon us and cause us to have to run. Fortunately, we can just one hit him. Now let's fight the mini boss. We don't have enough mana for the spirits, not a worry. See the spirit wolves, and now we can go and fight him. he hits very hard, so make sure you dodge his attacks. Okay, so we got the boss, and now let's get the smaller guys. Alright, I think that is everyone, or there's one more. And there's also a few wolves. Let's drink a flask. And the item in question that we want is just down the cellar over here. There we are. Ashes of War, Storm Stomp. We are not gonna use it, but if you don't have the Uchigatana with an unsheathed spell, then it's a very good Ash of War to equip in the beginning. Alright, do we have any more enemies to defeat here? We actually do have a few more items to grab. So basically there's a wagon over here. There's gonna be a few bad guys this way. A few soldiers, which we can... Whoa. And we got a really good shield. Let's drink a flask. So inside of this chest, we can find a flail, which we're not gonna make use of at the moment, but it's pretty cool. It requires 18 dexterity to equip. But then there's gonna be another chest over there. That wagon over there also contains a chest, and inside that chest there will be an item. I believe it was a great sword, which we again are gonna use because our sword is much better. But if you want to use it, it requires 18 strength to equip initially. We got some armor from this guy. There we go. The great sword. It's also worth to go ahead and if you are using a shield, which we're not really, but a shield is very useful. You might find use to it later down the game. These guys here might drop their brass shield, and the brass shield is very powerful. It resists 100% of the attacks, and it's like one of the best shields you can have early on in the game. However, it has a chance drop. I think it's about 15%, so you're really gonna farm for it if you're not gonna do it, because it is a waste of time for the purposes of the walkthrough. But if you were interested in that shield, you just gotta basically reset yourself at the grace, and then go farm those guys with the shield, then reset again, farm them again, until you get it. You don't really get it after about 3 or 4 farm runs. Okay, so now that we have 1700 runes, we're gonna rest at the side of grace. We're gonna level up, and as I mentioned before, we're gonna be leveling up Vigor just to increase our health for the moment. So let's bump it all the way to 14. And now we're gonna go into a cave and fight our first purple boss. The cave is item number 5 within the book, and it is somewhere around here, just past these tree lines. So we're gonna make a waypoint, and we're gonna follow to that waypoint until we find the cave we're looking for. Let's get the soldier. You'll also need to equip the torch, so let's go ahead and do that now. Equipment, we can equip the torch in place of a shield. Actually, we're gonna equip the bow here in place with the sword, because it makes sense to do that, since if you're using the bow, we're not using the sword. And then we're gonna equip the shield here as the first item, and we're gonna equip the torch here as the second item, which keeps us under the medium equipment lot, so we can still roll pretty nimble and fast. So it's gonna be either the shield or the torch, and either the bow or the sword. Let's rest in the side grace and venture forth into the cave in order to defeat the first boss. By the way, let me show you what it looks like without the torch here. It's completely dark, which is why a torch is such an important purchase, especially early on in the game, so you can actually see where you are going. Given that we have the torch equipped, it's not going to allow us to do the unsheath unless we equip the Ashes of War no skill to it, which we will soon. In this case, we just want to get rid of the torch since there is already a fire. Two-hand the Uchigatana, jump down, and smack the wolves. Okay, I barely survived. Maybe a better idea would have been to approach him from the side and then, yeah, hit him one by one. I almost died there, but it's okay. Not a worry. This was the hardest encounter by far. The rest of the wolves are gonna be scattered and lonely and one by one, so you're not gonna have as much trouble with them as you had with that initial pack. Let's pick up some items. We also grab the cracked pot, which will allow us to make stuff. Then the boss is down there. This way is the way we came from. There's another wolf, which we will luckily one hit, and the boss is gonna be down this way. So let us two-hand our Uchigatana, make sure our stats are, our health is in order, and then enter. As soon as we enter, we're gonna call for the spirit wolves. Beastman of Farum Azula. Now he's very fast, he's savage, his attacks hurt like hell, but he's easy to dodge, so just roll the hell out of his way. Make sure he's distracted on your wolves, and then unsheath. Then roll away. Refill your mana. Make sure you don't get hit by his combos. As soon as he's distracted, go ahead and smack him. He gets staggered, and then you can land a critical hit. And that is that. And he dies. We get a Flame Drag Talisman, which we can pretty much immediately equip into the talisman slot, which will negate the fire damage, which will be useful when you're fighting the dragons further down the line. It would have been much harder if we didn't use the spirit wolves, so if you want to challenge us on some of them and try to fight them one-on-one, mano-a-mano, I opted for the easy way because why not? Just stomp the guy and then let's return back to the entrance. So this was our first boss, our first cave. Some valuable items, a boss fight, and a little progress down. Okay, this was item number 5 in the book. Let us go outside so we can see the outside world. And this, let's conclude the first episode here. In the next episode, we're gonna continue progressing down the book and go down into the next cave, fight the next bosses, and see the next items in the game. Hopefully, you've enjoyed this walkthrough up to this point. As I said, we're gonna be aiming to complete 100% of the game, doing every quest and exploring every single corner of every single area of this game, which is huge and massive. So this is gonna take a while, but I'm gonna have a lot of fun doing this, and hopefully you guys will too. Yeah. So make sure you subscribe, like the video, and all that, so that you don't miss any future episodes. I'm gonna be arming them in a style of a playlist, so that you can watch them one after the other and just binge on the contents. Hopefully you had fun. Adieu, and till the next episode. Keep playing.